Welcome to the short video. I'm going to walk you through TailWind, which just happens to be like my favorite piece of software right now. Why do I like it so much? Well, it does a couple of really cool things. Number one, it lets me schedule all my Pinterest pinning activities without having to be awake when I do it. So for instance, Thursdays at 1 a.m. on the East Coast time happens to be a really good time for Pinterest activity. I don't know what those people are doing, why they aren't asleep, but this lets me schedule all that in advance. I can do it weeks, months in advance if I want to, which is really cool. Number two, the analytics in TailWind are amazing and 253% better than the analytics in Pinterest. I know they're working on it, but it isn't quite there. And this tool lets you really see what's working and what's not working with your Pinterest activities. Number three, and this is probably the coolest thing, is TailWind has this real-time monitoring tool where it's constantly analyzing the algorithms and interactivity of all your pins and all your followers as well. And it basically will suggest these optimal times throughout the week to pin. It'll say, Tuesdays at 6:53 p.m. are awesome, but for Mondays it's really all about 8:14 p.m. This is granular information that would take you freaking years to figure out, and they do it for you, and it's super awesome. So let's jump on over. This is my TailWind dashboard. This is what your dashboard will look like. Obviously, you will need to sign up for an account. And then once you do sign up for an account, you'll want to sync your TailWind account and your Pinterest account. It's super easy. You just want to give TailWind access to publish on behalf of you on Pinterest. So once you do that, this will be your dashboard. Now, how do we schedule some pins? I'm going to assume you already have your pin images created. I do have my pin images created. I also am a real lazy person and like to shortcut everything, so I've already got my pin captions. I got some templates. I'll show you those in a second. But I already have all my assets set up. But I'm going to assume that even if you don't, you can still follow my process. So how do we upload a pin? Go to the megaphone icon here, and this is the publish, and we'll click here, and it's under drafts. So once you select drafts, you want to upload your image, create new pin. Now you could design your pin in Canva if you wanted to. That's something you could do, but I'm going to do it from here. You'd also pin from Instagram. I don't use Instagram a lot, so you can maybe tell me how to do that. But you click on Upload Images. Let's grab. I'm going to be working with my book marketing tips board, so let's do number 14. Let that upload. Let that simmer. Okay, and here is my pin that I just uploaded, my pin image, excuse me. And so what do we do? Well, first of all, I notice a typo. Jeez, what a moron. All right, I'm going to delete this after I schedule it, just to let you know. Okay, but this is what the pin looks like. I can't believe that. It's so embarrassing. Here's the pin, and what you do is this. You choose what board you want to attach it to. I'm going to attach this to my 100 in book marketing tips that doesn't suck board. And since my TailWind account and the Pinterest account are linked, it already sees that. Select the book marketing thing. Now for description, again, like I said, I have my stuff all templated in advance, and I'll show you what this looks like. Let's bring this over. This is my template. If I scroll down, these are my different boards. There's the book marketing tips board. And basically, this is my big chunk of caption. You'll notice it's just sort of a headline. I can put in the new number for the tip. I can put in basically the text that I want to customize it. But then this is always the same. I do an ellipsis just to make it a little more eye-catching. I put my call to action in parentheses, and I put my link and one hashtag. I recommend you just do one hashtag. Some people recommend you do like 5 or 6. I've found Pinterest will actually penalize your pin with placement in the search engine if you have too many hashtags. And frankly, it gives a lot of people just an opportunity to go click on someone else's pin, which I wouldn't recommend. So those are my recommendations. You may do as you like. Copy here. Paste here. Now I want to again fill in my specific customized text here. Find new best. Oh, that's embarrassing. That's ridiculous. I will admit I do outsource this task, and it doesn't look like it went so really well. Find new best. All right. Well, we'll go with it for now. Oh dear. Oh dear. That is embarrassing. Find new best social media strategy for subscribers. I will never actually publish this because that's ridiculous. But okay, once you fill in your caption, again, one link, one hashtag, we're good. Now these icons here relate to the ability to actually auto-post the pin onto different platforms such as Twitter and Facebook. I have Twitter enabled. I think that's a totally great use of Twitter. Twitter's short term, it's fast, it's quick. Reposting a pin on there will not be a big deal. Facebook, I don't actually recommend you use Facebook. Some people do. I think it can really overwhelm your tribe if you do repurpose every single pin on Facebook, but that is just my opinion. I'll let you kind of make your decision, but I would recommend doing the Twitter. So click on Twitter, and this will auto-post this exact sort of text here in your pin, which is why I like to have the sort of this part here be a kind of a headline, like a subhead of a number, and then the actual tip itself. I like to have some meat at the front so people will actually read it. Now the source. This will default to your homepage, but that's not where I want to send people, because if I go here, I have my link already set up, so I copy that. And this is going to send people to actually grab a copy of my 10 dirt sheet marketing tools, if I can say that word. So I have the source URL, I have the text, we're all good. Now it's time to schedule this puppy. A couple different ways you can do it. You can click on Add to Queue, and it will automatically sort of choose this on the right here, I should explain. This is those optimal times that TailWind has figured out are great for you to post throughout the week. First available time is 2:26 p.m. today on Tuesday. So if I were to hit to Add to Queue, it would automatically fill it in this first spot. But I maybe don't want to do that, especially since this thing is freaking misspelled and I don't want to share that in the public. What I would want to do instead, let's say I wanted to do Thursday night. Well, if I hover over here, I could do 7:52 p.m. on Thursday. That looks good. So what you do is you go over here, click on the clock, choose your day. That's Thursday. Let's do a 7. Let's do a 52. Make sure it's PM. And hit set custom time. This one may remind you may have already pinned from this page on one of your selected boards. That's okay. This is all a series and it's all going to the same location. That's just letting me know it's a warning. It's totally fine. Then hit schedule. Let that cook for a bit, and you should see it in scheduled pins. Now these are other ones that I did. Okay. It's right here. Book marketing tip number 14. Find new best social media strategy for it just hurts reading that. Now, even if it's scheduled, I can still change stuff. I can change the time by clicking on here. I can change the custom time. I can change the source link. I can change the text. I can change what board it's going to. I can, change whether it goes to Twitter or Facebook. As long as it hasn't actually gone through, I can change anything I want. And that's pretty much it. That's how I schedule the whole thing. Now, throughout the week, what I actually like to do is I have to go over here to your schedule. And this is sort of a real kind of bird's eye view of all the different optimal times for you to post on Pinterest using TailWind. So it's like saying, you can see instantly that, okay, Tuesday evenings are really good for me reaching my audience. Wednesday mornings and Monday mornings. And then, yeah, it's like these really weird spots. So I do about 2 to 3 pins a day. I don't do more than that. But what I do is I actually take a screen capture of this sort of dashboard, and I literally print it out, and I just circle. I just literally have like, okay, Monday, I'm going to do 9:12, 1:56, and 6:37 p.m. Kind of space it out a little bit. But you can add time slots if you want. It looks like Wednesday is just really, there's a lot going on Wednesday, which really may have something to do with the psychology of my followers, what they're doing, what they're sort of going through in life at that moment. So that's sort of like the bird's eye view of the schedule. Now, excuse me. Once you have already scheduled your pins and they've gone through, it's time to kind of see how they're doing and check out the analytics. And this is what I'm really excited about. So you scroll down to track your brand page, and you'll have 2 little tabs there, Profile Performance and Board Insights. So they do 2 different things. Profile Performance is like your global analytics. This will tell you generally in that account what's going on. So in the account of Self-Pub Nation, I've got 1,700 followers, 93 new ones in the last 7 days. The number of pins, I didn't do any pins last week. I'm such a bad person. How many repins total, how many likes total. And then I can see the follower growth, which is really, really cool because there's another tool that I use called Ninja Pinner, and I'll provide a link below this video where you can check out my video on Ninja Pinner, which is basically like a mass following tool. Really effective, does one thing, but it does that one thing really well. And this I can track and say, okay, the 29th of September, did I do some? It looks like I certainly did. That was very effective. This is also, these numbers down here relate to this TailWind proprietary metric called virality score and engagement score. I don't exactly understand it, but I know, like this, new 30-day high, that's all good. That's good news. So I like to see that. You want to see these scores in like the 2 to 4 range. Below that, you start to you need to really consider it. Now here is the board inside. This is kind of more of a deep dive look at the individual boards themselves, and just by looking at it, I can kind of see a couple of my boards on writing desks and writing quotes and Dreamwriter Office have huge virality scores and engagement scores. Lots of activity. And that tells me something. I may want to, what if I did a blog post on the 10 coolest writing desks for writers or something like that? There's interest. That's kind of interesting. But if I keep scrolling down, these are all kind of the repin boards that I have. This is my board dedicated to my blog columns. Why'd you show up? There's actually quite a bit of interesting stuff going on, engagement-wise and virality score. This is my 101 tips for writing a book. Fairly decent scores there, 36 pins total. Now the self-publishing tips that don't suck, this is kind of disappointing, to be honest with you. I didn't do any pins last week, but there's no repin activity. The scores are kind of low. This is something I might want to think about. I may want to think about whether I want to continue with that series. But this is good. You want to keep checking in, and I make a schedule of checking in every Monday just to get a really fresh look at the last 7 days, and it helps me make decisions on what boards are worth checking out and which boards are not. So again, hope this has been helpful. If you have liked this video, gotten something from it, or you think I'm a total idiot, please leave a comment below, or like us, or tweet us, or Tumblr-rific us, or whatever. And until we talk again, write well, publish often, and don't let anybody, and that includes weird Pinterest analytics, stand in your way.